In the days that that have just passed, we have been talking about Songezo Tshabangu, the Triple C, how they've decided to sell the struggle, how we saw Mnangagwa inviting those MPs to go to his pickup farm in Kwekwe, and where a lot of treachery was done there, with them now finally endorsing that Emmerson Mnangagwa must go on and up to 2030. But prior to that, there were issues of the power struggles that we saw within the Triple C party, where we finally saw Welshman Ncube firing Songezo Tshabangu for abuse of power. And when that happened, we saw them going to court and Songezo Tshabangu being defeated in the court. And after the defeat of Songezo Tshabangu, we heard that he had gone to the High Court, Supreme Court, actually, to challenge the dismissal that was upon him. We were questioning why Mnangagwa accepted Songezo Tshabangu's leadership there at Pickup Farm when actually the court had indicated that he was no longer supposed to be having the powers that he used to declare and to frog march MPs to go to Mnangagwa's farm. You see, quite a lot of disturbing things are happening in the politics in Zimbabwe, with Mnangagwa really dragging the country through the mud in a very, very embarrassing fashion. Zimbabwe is really becoming a laughing stock of the whole world, all owing to Emmerson Mnangagwa and his Lacoste grouping. So there is nothing that is being done anymore in a professional and a constitutional way in Zimbabwe. And Mnangagwa does not care whatever people think or what people say. What kind of a leader would want just to do his own stuff, his own things, without even minding what the masses are saying? And yet the power belongs to the people. What Mnangagwa continues to forget is that power belongs to the Zimbabwean people. And he may have taken power from the Zimbabwean people as of now, but there is a day that will always come where the power shall go back to the people. The people of Zimbabwe will reclaim their power one of these fine days, and Mnangagwa will not be able to do anything about it. He can enjoy it today, but it is temporary. This is why Mnangagwa is afraid of the Zimbabwean people. This is why Mnangagwa cannot freely walk in Zimbabwe, in the streets, and greet people without a heavy presence of security. It is because he knows that Zimbabwean people are not for him. He does not have the mandate. He never got mandate from the beginning, even from the very first time that he became president. He was never given a mandate. 2018, he did not win the elections. He came in through the coup, which again, he cheated the Zimbabwean people by saying we are removing Mugabe and we are going to work together with the opposition, only to turn around. And now we are now beginning to see Songezo Tshabangu having withdrawn that court challenge where he was challenging his dismissal. And we are saying this is the plans of ZANU-PF. We want to find out why ZANU-PF is doing this. Why is ZANU-PF all of a sudden decided to withdraw this court challenge? There is definitely an egg of mischief which is being laid. Self-styled interim CCC Secretary General Songezo Tshabangu withdraws his Supreme Court appeal against a High Court judgment which nullified his announcement changes to the party's parliamentary leadership. CCC, led by Welshman Ncube, says its parliamentary deployees reprise positions. So why is he pulling out? Why is he surrendering? Songezo Tshabangu will never do anything just for himself, because he is just a puppet of ZANU-PF. He's a puppet of Mnangagwa, and whatever that he is doing here is an instruction that is coming from his bosses. But we continue to ask why ZANU-PF has decided to do this. It is because there is something that they are planning. There is definitely something they are planning, and whatever it is that they are planning, we are very, very, very soon going to know what it is. While they may try all they can to play tricks, shenanigans, and all the like, we definitely, at the end of the day, will get to know what their plan is. What is the game this time around? Why is Mnangagwa asking Songezo Tshabangu to withdraw the court challenge? How is that going to benefit Songezo Tshabangu? And what are people like Welshman Ncube going to be saying about this? Of course, we know that they were thrown under the bus by Songezo Tshabangu at the end. While they thought that they were comrades and they were together and doing their thing, they embraced Songezo Tshabangu. And they've proven to the whole world that Nelson Chamisa was correct to dump these guys. He was correct to leave this sinking ship. Now they can't even glue themselves together. They fought each other. They fought over money. They are fighting over power. And ZANU-PF continues to control. Mnangagwa is controlling the Triple C from far. And there is nothing that people like Songezo Tshabangu and Woshman Ngube and the rest of them can do, which Mnangagwa cannot sanction. And that is the unfortunate part of it. And it is fortunate that Zimbabwean people are now aware. They've seen it for themselves. Those that used to have doubts over who these people represent and what they really are, I'm sure everyone is quite clear now who these people are, what they represent. They don't represent the will of the people of Zimbabwe. They don't represent the interests of the people of Zimbabwe. They have their personal interests. It is about stomach. It's politics of the stomach. And the politics of the stomach is what has derailed the struggle for freedom for Zimbabwe. And we are hoping and praying that they are going to collapse together with the ZANU-PF. And we will be starting to have a leadership that will take care of the people of Zimbabwe, a leadership that will want to develop Zimbabwe, to make Zimbabwean life better than what we are seeing today. So this is quite very embarrassing and quite disheartening to see people that used to call themselves champions of change now finding themselves in the pockets of Emmerson Mnangagwa and receiving trinkets and dirty money, blood money from ZANU-PF. And this is what they represent. So we are going to be watching this space to see what plans are being put in place, why this court challenge has been withdrawn. And we know that definitely there is something that is being planned and hatched. And very, very soon, we will get to know about it. So family, prayers are needed for Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe needs prayer, not only politics. If we do politics without prayer in Zimbabwe, ZANU-PF will remain holding on. But with prayer, we are going to dismantle all their spiritual forces that are backing them, which are of darkness, and Zimbabwe will be freed. Zimbabwe will become a working country again. God is with us in the struggle. God is in it. Freedom is coming, and Zimbabwe will never remain the same again.